back with more ahuvia from RSA Security, a division of EMC, and more is I guess the area that she's working in is the fraud action research labs over in Israel, and we certainly appreciate them coming in on the program and helping us out here. So, Maura, you were talking about reshipping mules and things of that nature, correct?
Right. So we're seeing, we're talking about non-financial information that's being sold. So I mentioned spam mailing lists. I mentioned Trojan logs that are not filtered, not sorted, dates of birth, social security numbers, and another increasing trend we've seen is hacked courier service accounts. Anything that helps you, ship merchandise from one country to another, that's also something fraudsters are looking at and trying to buy and sell. Another example I'd like to give is a data set that fraudsters sell that enable them to connect remotely to your computer. So if they want, to defraud somebody, again, in a certain country, they can buy that data set, browse with his or her IP address, and then the bank will think that it's the genuine account holder's computer that's initiating the login or transaction. I just like to say that there is good news behind all of these bad news. The good news is that, while our information is becoming more vulnerable to, being harvested by Trojans, the good news is that security vendors like RSA, like many others, are developing increasingly sophisticated security systems that, more and more verticals are realizing that it's important for them to have. So it's not just banks. There's other verticals that are probably going to be increasingly interested in more sophisticated security measures, whether it be knowledge-based authentication or out-of-band authentication, because our information is becoming increasingly vulnerable to Trojans, and more verticals are realizing that they need more security measures in place to protect us from that.
All right, Maura. Let me ask you sort of an unscripted question here. All right, only because it came up in the news this week. You can answer either I don't know, or I'll look into it and get back to you, or Joe, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to give you the easy out here because we didn't prepare on this because it did come up on the news late in the week. All right. There was talk of a hack over at the stock exchange over in Israel. Any information over there on that you may be able to better inform our members about?
Unfortunately, I was on vacation until recently, so I haven't been following the news too closely. There have been several hacks by different groups. I know against Israeli sites. There have been calls of different fundamentalist groups to hack into Israeli sites as a matter of just, political interest or fundamentalist interest. But as far as I know, what has reached my ears is that most of them have not been any high-profile hacks. And I hope I'm not, I'm not too badly informed here. So
yeah,
I think I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I kind of knew that it's unscripted, and neither one of us are really prepared for it. It did come up on the news wire, and I didn't get a chance to read the whole story. But what I was catching was the headline that came in, and I said, "Wow, I wonder if the two ladies that I talked to over in Israel over at RSA's labs, if they know what's going on here." So I brought it up kind of impromptu. All right, but more. What else do we have in this area, or is that it for today?
That's it for me for today. Yeah, okay. I think I covered most. I can just mention two things. We are seeing some demand for utility statements. Fraudsters like to get their hands on utility statements to get some more background information. To get your address. Some companies or banks want a utility statement. We've also seen a high demand for hospital records, which is interesting. It seems like some shady parties are looking want to get their hands on fresh medical records. It could be shady insurance companies or shady law firms, but we have been seeing that over the past year.
Yeah, I guess they call it.
And my apologies. And I'd just like to apologize for whoever asked you about the stock exchange question. Hopefully next time I'll be able to better answer that.
It came up on our news line over here, so don't worry about that. All right.
Okay.
That's something we can dig into at another time when we're all more prepared to handle it. But it is kind of interesting. We call that competitive intelligence, right? They're looking for utility bill information and doctor's office patient information. Nothing new there. It's just more competitive intelligence,
And then, yeah.
and sometimes outright
Sorry, go ahead.
fraud.
Right, and that's why I was saying that, more and more verticals are going to be increasingly interested in having, more sophisticated security measures in place.
Yeah.
Because of the different information.
Yeah, no disagreement there at all, Maud. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Great talk this morning, and thank you for your patience with that. And just on the offhand, you do hear something on those latest hack attacks over there. Do get back to us and let us know.
Okay, will do.
All right, thanks. Have a great day. Bye now.
Thanks a lot. You too.
All right, bye-bye.